Good afternoon. Welcome to episode 35 of the Blood Talk Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Wright, coming to you from the beautiful, sunny, and warm confines of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Wherever you may be watching or listening, I thank you as always. Like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. Today in this episode, we wanted to touch on the finale of the Western Conference Finals. Yes. A couple days late, guys. I already know. Fuck that. That's not even the important part. The finals won't even start until Thursday. But nonetheless, I wanted to really get time to really dive in and dig into this episode. This won't be a long episode because God knows it wasn't a long series. So we're going to hop right into it. Dallas obviously won the series 4-1. Luka, Kyrie Irving, this will be his second NBA Finals. For Luka, this will be his first. It was total domination by the Mavs. I mean, if that was not the pure grade A definition of a closeout game, if you've never known or had an idea of how you're supposed to have a closeout game, that's exactly how the fuck you do it. Blow them the fuck out where they have no chance in hell. No chance in hell. I mean, oh God. The game was over by the middle of the second quarter. I mean, just keep that in mind. Like, anybody who hasn't watched it, please watch it. You know, the game recap's there. It was a couple of days ago. It was a fucking destructive, demoralizing ass whooping of astronomical proportions. I mean, literally, the Timberwolves gave up. I mean, by halftime, the Mavs were up by 29 points. Timberwolves showed no heart. I'm not shocked there. You know, they're a young team. Their fight was knocked out of them a while ago. And once it got knocked out of them, they didn't really have the poise or mental makeup to respond. They'll learn that. But Luka and Kyrie dominated the series. Luka won the Magic Johnson Western Conference Player Trophy, MVP trophy. Congratulations again to Luka. Hopefully for Luka, that's not the only one he wins. But him and Kyrie dominated the series. They were flat out amazing. In that game, almost triple-double by Luka. He had 36, 10, and 5, but we all know he's averaged that for the damn postseason. As I've been saying the whole damn postseason, this man just continues to update his resume. Kyrie Irving, 36 points, 5 assists, killed the Wolves from 3. Just phenomenal series by them both. This was the number 2 player that Luka's always needed. They got there fair and square. They beat the shit out of the Clippers. Had a great series against the Thunder. Beat the shit out of the Wolves. You got to give the Mavs credit. They earned it. They went through some of the best teams in the West, and they earned it. Having said that, I want to touch on the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, my man Ant-Man, scored 28 points, showed heart, showed like he definitely wasn't going to quit. Shot the ball well in this game too, which was needed, especially in a closeout game. He had 28 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. He was 10 of 18 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3, which again was phenomenal. Got to give him credit for that. I'd be remiss though if I didn't talk about our favorite center / shooting guard of all time, Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns scored 28 points, 12 rebounds. He was 9 of 10 from the free throw line. However, his shooting from the floor was 9 of 20. Fucking dreadful in a closeout game that you have a big man shooting that bad, which again, his primary job should be shooting between 2 to 5 feet from the basket, you know, if not 13 feet at the worst. The fact that this guy thinks he's a fucking shooting guard, that's why his shooting numbers are so horrible. I'll get into that too. And my all-time favorite, you know, because again, he thinks he's a guard. He was 1 of 6 from 3. So yeah, this is after going 80% the other game, and everybody was like, "Yay! I told you, figment of imagination. It was a mirage. Wasn't going to be consistent. He's inconsistent." And it fucking burns me, yo, because understand, I'm a Jersey dude. Cat from North Jersey. I'm from South Jersey. I don't give a fuck about North South. He from Jersey. I want this dude to be successful as hell, and he is. And he's a good young player, but he's too fucking inconsistent. And then his efficiency, -14 from the floor. I mean, just not enough. Like, just nowhere near enough. Hopefully he's better next year, but I got a remedy for that too. We'll see if he's even there possibly next year. But again, Wolves bench wasn't efficient either. No shock there. They were outscored by the Mavs bench, but ironically, it was only about 1 point. So it wasn't too much. But again, Timberwolves bench didn't get much. Did a lot better than some of the starters, but not much. Wolves starters such as Jay McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, and Mike Conley combined for, get this, 24 points. Fucking atrocious. Just completely shit the bed. Just if you're a Timberwolves fan, that was some shit that would take your heart out and have you weeping for years, because it was just like, how did you didn't even show up. You didn't even show up. But again, Timberwolves fans, you should be okay, because Timberwolves fans, like Oklahoma City, you have a bright future. You have a lot in front of you. You have a lot that is potentially going to help you, be in this position again next year. Ant-Man even said in his press conference they expect to be in this position next year. So, again, you got a young team. However, I would argue that they need to consider even moving off of Gobert or Karl-Anthony Towns. That duo is not working. Rudy Gobert is completely ineffective offensively, but great defensively. Cat thinks he's a shooting guard, but he's a center, and he's the most talented offensively, out of the two. So I think you're probably going to have to try to trade Cat and see what you can get for him, because he doesn't play interior defense. It's not like, it's like, oh, we lose him, we're losing interior paint presence. He thinks he's Steph Curry. He thinks he's Jimmy Butler. He thinks he's Klay Thompson. I don't know what the fuck he thinks he is, but he doesn't think he plays center in the NBA. And I'd love for people to say, well, today's big man, they space the floor and shoot out. Nikola Jokic can shoot. Embiid can even shoot the three a little bit better. Fuck, Al Horford shoots the three better than this guy. I don't really want to hear it. It's just, it's one of those things where we can go into numbers, and I'm pretty sure his numbers may be a little bit better than a guy or two out there. And you're like, hey, he doesn't shoot it that bad. He's costing his team games because he doesn't want to play the center position. And it's not all on him. The bench was horrible. Ant-Man didn't show up half the series. He was gassed. But ultimately, they're going to have to get off one of these guys. Because you got, like I said, you got a guy that doesn't know what position he wants to play and another guy that's limited offensively. And it's just fucking you over when you play a team of this caliber who has two offensive juggernauts that you just can't stop. And then the most hilarious part of it all, Chris Finch decides, let's double team Luka now. We're 3 games fucking down. Let's now double him. Like I said, a lot of promise, but definitely some things that the Timberwolves are going to have to work on. You're going to have to address these things if you want to be a player come next year, because the West is only getting harder. The West is only getting harder, and I expect a lot of teams to make some moves. I expect a lot of teams to try to add guys. So it'll be very interesting to see. But again, kudos to the Timberwolves for a hell of a season. They did, in my opinion, exceed a lot of expectations. So I want to make sure I give them credit, but definitely a lot of work still needs to be done. And that'll lead me into, last but not least, the NBA Finals, which now will culminate for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. It will be Mavs versus Celtics. Very simply for me, this series is going to come down to how Boston handles Luka and Kyrie. Luka and Kyrie have been killing teams the whole damn postseason. And until I see somebody really disengage them and take them out of it to where they're just ineffective for long stretches of the game, I don't see Boston winning this series. And ultimately, the real test will be, how will Drew Holiday defend Kyrie Irving? Because, see, here's the thing, guys. Contrary to popular belief, I believe Jaylen Brown could possibly hold Luka to a 20, 25-point game. I don't think that could be consistent. And I think that Kyrie Irving has a chip on his shoulder, and I do think that he's going to be the key to this series. Because if Kyrie is going off and he's hot, and Porzingis too. Porzingis being healthy is another crucial piece. If Porzingis is healthy, we expect the Mavs to possibly lose the series, just because Derek Lively, Gafford, Jones, PJ Washington, those guys are, they're guys. They're not great players, but they're good in their role. But again, not the level of a Porzingis height, weight game, well, not weight, he's skinny as hell, but let's just say height and game, But nonetheless, that matchup, Kyrie versus Drew Holiday, I think that's going to be one that we need to pay attention to, because if Drew Holiday can contain Kyrie, then it's going to be Luka versus the Celtics. But if Drew Holiday is struggling with Kyrie, it's going to be interesting. But again, kudos to both these teams for a hell of a year. Kudos to a lot of those teams that, the Wolves, the Thunder, don't lose hope, because, the future's bright. But definitely, I'm glad that the Mavs and Celtics, I honestly feel like this is an NBA Finals that is going to be great. I feel like we deserve this matchup. I have the Mavericks winning in 6 games. I know there's a lot of people I've argued with already that's like, that's fucking crazy. That's not going to happen. That's fine. That's fine. I've been told all postseason Luka wasn't going to go as far as he was. And I just honestly believe this is his time. Him and Kyrie are about to pull this shit off. So remains to be seen. We definitely will be plugged in Thursday at 8:25, 8 or 8:25, but either way, we'll be plugged in. That'll wrap it up for episode 35 of the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast. Guys, I thank you as always for watching and listening. As again, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Take care and be safe.